Speak to Fawaz Gerges. He's a professor of international relations at the London School of Economics. Professor, thank you for your time. These are harsh words, but they could have been spoken 6 months ago, 1 year ago, 18 months ago. Will they make any difference?
Good morning, Adnan. We welcome any statement, whether by 27 nations calling on Israel to end the war immediately, or the statement by Pope Leo, who called Israel's war barbarity, or the statement by the Belgian king, who says that Israel's war in Gaza basically is a disgrace to humanity. These are very strong words. And here I'm talking to you from London. I want you to know that Israel has been delegitimized in the international system. It is seen as a rogue, illegal state. But sadly, for your own viewers, these statements don't really change the matrix. Won't stop Israel genocide in Gaza. What did Israel say after the 27 nations basically called on Israel to end its war? It says that basically the statement is disconnected from reality. In fact, it's escalated its war in Gaza by launching an air and ground offensive on Deir el-Balah. Deir el-Balah is the only remaining hub of humanitarian aid for the Palestinian people. So words matters, but for me, as a student of international relations, actions speak louder than words. What measures have the European nations taken to stop Israel's genocide? In fact, German arms and ammunition are still flowing to Israel, as you and I are talking now, even though Germany signed the letter. British spare parts to Israel F-35 fighters are still flowing to Israel, basically, as we talk, indirectly. So the reality is, Adnan, we need to have not only moral clarity, but political clarity. I don't exaggerate if I say that most of the Western world, most of it, is complicit in Israel genocide in Gaza, and they are reluctant to take any measures, any statement, in order to really increase the cost for Israel. Final point on this point. A few days ago, as you know, and your intelligent viewers know this, the European Union decided not to basically suspend any economic measures or relations with Israel, even though the European Union has found that Israel violates its obligations under international humanitarian law. So a huge divide between the rhetoric, which is wonderful, and the actions, hardly any actions. And Israel, basically, we know, it feels impunity. It could do whatever it wants, and that's exactly what it's doing in Gaza today.
So what does the phrase international community mean nowadays? We know that around the world, domestically, people will be sitting in their living rooms. They'll be watching this war and its horrors unfold on their screens. And yet their governments, Fawaz, surely know that no government will be unseated because of its lack of action regarding Israel's war on Gaza. People vote for domestic reasons, not for international reasons.
You know, Adnan, as a professor of international relations, I have been taught and I have been teaching my students about the international community, international society, that the world, we had hope that the world was becoming more and more of a small village, international law, the obligation to protect. I mean, look what's happening now. What's happening is that warring presidents have been established, have been set up in Gaza and the Ukraine. And these precedents will come to haunt the international system. What you have now, according to the General Secretary of the United Nations, is an epidemic of impunity. You have lawlessness. I mean, you and I and all of us now live in a lawless world. It's really raw power. What Donald Trump and what Benjamin Netanyahu are saying to the world, we have raw power, we will use it. And do whatever you want, say whatever you want. So the reality is they're getting away with it now, but it will come to haunt the West, not just the global South. It will come to haunt the West for decades to go. Because once presidents are established, basically you're opening a Pandora's box And that's what we're really seeing in the international system, basically lawlessness on massive, massive scales.
Professor Fawaz Gerges, thank you for your time as always.